Hi guys, for my Lest We Forget project, I'm going to tell you about a woman whose leadership, courage, and determination made her a groundbreaking figure in U.S. military history, Lieutenant Charity Adams. This is the order my slides will be going in today. Charity Adams was the highest-ranking African-American woman in the Army during World War I. Adams was born in Columbia, South Carolina in 1918. She was raised in a very strong academic household and later went on to graduate with honors from Wilberforce University in Ohio. She later obtained a master's degree from Ohio State and studied at the University of Zurich. She originally wanted to be some kind of educator, and she was, but when the United States entered World War II, her path took a big turn. In 1942, Charity joined the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, which will later be known as the Women's Army Corps, or the WAC. She flew through the ranks, and in 1944 she became the very first African-American woman to be appointed as an officer in the WAC. Her biggest challenge, however, came later on. The 6,888th Battalion was sent to England and France to solve a gigantic backlog of mail. And when I say a gigantic backlog, I legitimately mean millions and millions of mail, as you can see in this picture. This mail included letters, packages, and just other mail for American soldiers that had piled up among the years. The Army gave them 6 months to get the job done, and nobody thought they could do it. But instead, they got it done in 3. Their motto was no mail, low morale. And what they did was more than sort mail. They restored hope to soldiers longing to hear from home. Adams and her battalion faced major amounts of racism and sexism constantly, both from inside the military and also from society. At one point, a general actually threatened to send a white officer to oversee her unit. In reply, she said, "Over my dead body, sir." And in return, that made the general back down. She protected her women fiercely and proved that black women could lead, succeed, and serve their country with excellence. After World War II, Adams left the military and went back to her passion, education. She worked alongside the Veterans Administration and was active in civic organizations such as the boards of the Dayton Power and Light and the Dayton Metro Housing Authority, as well as earning many more degrees. In 1982, she published her memoir, One Woman's Army, the book I am currently using for this project. She published this to tell her story in her own words. Sadly, Charity Adams passed away in 2002, but her legacy remains. In 2022, the United States Army named a training center in her honor, which is known as the Fort Gregg Adams. Her story is taught in military history as a symbol of courage, leadership, and service in the face of adversity. Netflix even made a movie after her and her battalion, titled The 6888. This is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen, and this is actually what inspired me to do my project on her. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. Charity did not just serve her country, she changed it. She opened many doors for not just black women, but all women in the military, and left a legacy of pride and progress. She played a huge role in women's suffrage, and we should always look up to her. This was one of my favorite quotes I read in this book, and it says, "I have opened a few doors, broken a few barriers, and I hope smoothed the way to some degree for the next generation." She wrote this in her book, and this just spoke measures to me about what she did to serve her country and the women that were coming after her. These are the websites I used to find my pictures. Thank you, and I hope you learned a lot from this presentation because I know a lot of people need to know more about Charity Adams. Thank you.